Well, good afternoon, everyone. This was a very positive, substantive week and an historic week in many regards as well with the veto override. I think it's a great week for the citizens and the taxpayers of Missouri all around. We completed our one legislative constitutional duty early again this year with a true balanced budget. Because of the careful fiscal planning and stewardship that we've exhibited in the House and the Senate under great leaders like Representative Rick Stream here, we have a balanced budget with no tax increases, and we were able to also apportion money out through the surplus we had this year and take care of some significant needs. Secondly, we overrode the governor. This governor has now been overridden 13 times. And that is because he has not had an agenda or shown much leadership in many different areas of tax policy or any of the other reforms we've worked on. So the General Assembly worked together in a bipartisan way, very cooperatively between the chambers like we've not seen in a long, we've worked together very cooperative in the last 2 years like we haven't seen in years previous. And after working on it for 2 sessions, we completed significant tax reform with a tax reduction for Missourians, the first time in nearly 100 years. And finally, the third point I'd point out is that we also were able to pass a significant capital improvements bill as well in a hugely bipartisan, cooperative manner with the Senate joining with us on that as well. So a good week of consensus, a good week of collaboration, a good week for Missouri taxpayers, all the while taking care of all the needs of those Missourians who truly need it the most. And I think you saw with the speed and efficiency that we were able to wrap up the budget. Everybody had their say. Overall, it's a budget that many of the votes today had bipartisan support of a significant amount as we worked through the process. I want to commend the majority leader for his leadership in keeping the ship moving forward very steadily throughout this whole process. I want to really thank the budget chairman, Rick Stream, someone I've worked with for 8 long years now, but they've been great years. And I believe we're leaving the state in very good fiscal hands. And if Rick, I don't know if you want to make a comment about the budget.
No, just to say that, as the Speaker said, we put together a budget that we felt was accurate with the revenue estimates that we had at the time, and we still believe that it will come true. We put a lot of additional money into education, $278 million in the foundation formula, that $115 in the general revenue, and the rest of it in surplus revenue. A lot of additional funding for the struggling school districts of this state in preschool, as well as tutoring programs, reading programs. We put a lot of money in higher education, the 5% performance-based increases, along with, as the Speaker mentioned, the capital improvements money. So in the Medicaid area, as I mentioned on the floor, a $360 million increase in Medicaid spending of growth, but that was in programs, new decision items, where most of the money came from within the budget. In the Medicaid budget, we just directed it to areas that we felt were the most needed for the most vulnerable people in our state. So I think all in all, it was a great team effort throughout the whole budget process all the way through this year. And frankly, it started last year when we adjourned. Sue Allen has done a phenomenal job as the chair of that Appropriations Committee for Health and Senior Services and Social Services. She deserves a lot of credit for the reforms that we've made in the Medicaid area.
Rick, you got one more.